it don't seem right. Who knows where she's gone? Who knows where she's gone? Don't let go. Don't let go. Don't let go. Don't let go.
Fantastic. So that was Wayne Gilroy with Don't Let Go. And Wayne joins me in studio now. Good evening to you, Wayne.
Good evening, Hugh.
This song, I believe, is from your newest album, which you're working on at the moment. And in just a couple of moments, we're going to talk in depth because I'm really interested to find out what the recording process has been like for you. But before that, I'd just like to go a little bit into, I suppose, your past and your background, and I suppose what led you to this point.
Yeah, that's a good question. Actually, just the last year or so, I kind of started to take the songwriting a bit more serious, and I had an EP out last year, which I recorded in Blanchardstown with Paul Woodward, and it was a solo acoustic, and I kind of stepped up then into country rock with a full band, session musicians. So yeah, this one is more it's a fuller sound, than the last one, and I'm expecting a good response from the songs on this new album when it comes out,
Okay, well, I remember what actually, I suppose, my first introduction to you was about a month ago, and I found you had a really interesting thing going then, because as we all know, we don't like thinking about it now because it's 2014, but it was coming up to Christmas, and you were that guy who actually went out there, lived the dream, wrote a Christmas song, and then spent the whole month publicising it. And I suppose everyone probably at one stage in life, certainly anyone who's ever picked up a guitar or played an instrument, has wanted to write a Christmas song. What made you actually say to yourself, I'm going to do this?
Well, all the big artists that I like Elvis and Springsteen and U2, they've all done a Christmas song. I won't mention Cliff Richard and all those guys, but they're really good fellas. They've all done Christmas hits, so why not? I mean,
John Lennon.
John Lennon. Yeah, they've all done one. Everyone's recorded one. So
Paul McCartney.
Paul McCartney did one every year.
Yeah, but I suppose, given the fact that it is something that has such a tradition behind it, and that they're seen as a certain way of doing it, did you find that challenging, trying to step into that world? Like, that really goes against, I suppose, a lot of songwriting conventions of doing your own thing.
Yeah, well, the main reason I did it really was, I was at a seminar there a while ago, and we were talking about Christmas songs, and he said, do you ever notice all the Christmas songs are kind of old? You don't hear too many new ones coming out, and a lot of them are kind of depressing type of songs, they're not happy. Christmas is supposed to be merry Christmas, so it should be happy and a good upbeat song. So I thought I could write one, and I picked up the guitar and I just started jamming away, and I rang Paul then the next day, and I says, I might record a Christmas song on Friday. Are you around? So he says, yeah. So we did it in one day, and it was very fast, and it came together quite quick, didn't it, Paul?
It did, yeah. Of course, jingle bells are very important for Christmas songs. You know that, don't you? I happen to have them in the studio.
Yeah, you go.
And did you have them there just for this moment? Have you been waiting for
they've
years
been-
for someone
they-
to ring you
they
with
were
the right
like-
Christmas song?
Exactly, they were lying there for 12 months, and then I got that phone call.
You were like, what took you 12 months, Wayne?
You always have to have enough equipment there just in case you get the call, you know.
Exactly, and then you went around, of course, promoting it, and I saw you on Facebook. You were every step of the way, you kept people updated about what you were doing, like going around radio stations. And what did these, I suppose, radio stations make of the fact that you were going around with this Christmas song?
I was very surprised how easy it was to get it played. There were a lot of them were, you know, a lot of the country stations in particular seemed to pick it up because there's a country kind of slant on the song. But yeah, I was very surprised how receptive the DJs were at the radio stations to the song. You know, it got a lot of airplay, like even in England, and you know, it wasn't just in Ireland. It kind of. I wouldn't say went viral, but it went around a lot, like very quick, you know. I mean, there was DJs playing it that I didn't even know they were playing it, you know, that kind of way. So I didn't ask them to play it, I don't know where they got it from, but they were playing it, you know. So
do you feel, I suppose, after writing that Christmas song, has that taught you any lessons maybe in terms of promotion in general and the way to hit the market? Yeah,
I learned a lot. I made a few mistakes, but I learned a tremendous amount. I picked up a lot, like, you know. You know, one thing I used to think was, from what I was hearing on the music circuit, was that you can't get radio stations to play your songs, you know. But if you target them the right way and you have a good song, I think they probably will be receptive to it, you know. That's what I found. You know, you have the right song to the right DJ. You know, you don't just throw it out there to a radio station blindly. You have to go for the DJ who more liable to play that type of music, you know.
Okay, and I suppose you really did have the captive audience with it being Christmas and all.
Although Christmas and country.
Oh, Christmas and country, exactly. But I suppose the disadvantage is you can't play it for another 11 months.
I know, I was depressed on the 26th of December. I went to bed
five days earlier before
I went to bed for New Year's Eve and just sulked, you know.
Grand, well, but no need to be depressed, because it sounds like you've got a lot coming with this album. We're going to talk about that in just one moment, but first we're going to listen to another track from your upcoming album. This track is called Don't Say Goodbye.
The lights on, but you can't see. Living in darkness, running on empty. The whole world's wrong, singing such a sad song. Say that you can't wait, be long gone. I'm on a highway, you're on the low way. Who knows, someday you'll say goodbye. Come on, take my hand, I'm out of the sinking sand. I only came for you, well, you know it's true. I'm on a highway, you're on a long way. Who knows, someday you'll say goodbye. Say goodbye. Don't say goodbye. Don't say goodbye. Don't say goodbye. Thought that you and me were so tight. Then you went and quenched the flame. Darling, no, I'll always be here for you. There is nothing that I won't do. You just have to call my name. Don't say goodbye.
say goodbye.
That was Wayne Gilroy with Don't Say Goodbye. Fantastic kind of, I suppose. You're right when you make the whole country reference and a very deep tradition of country. It's not a genre you hear a lot of Irish artists tackle really these days, is it?
Yeah, it's kind of a country, I'd call it country rock, you know. The Eagles and Bob Seger and maybe Springsteen, and then you have Willie Nelson and all those guys, you know, Elvis and all that kind of stuff. That's how I used to listen to all the time. So it comes out like you don't force it out. Whatever comes out, and that's what comes out. It's country rock, you know.
Okay, well, Paul, I'll bring you in here because you're the producer of the album. I suppose what would your background be in terms of the sort of music you would generally engage with and where you come from?
Well, I'm a bit old.
Well, you look well.
I don't look as old as I feel. But no, I started off in music in the 80s, so I'm going way back. You know, I'm in my 40s now. So yeah, I've a long time doing it, and started off, I suppose, when you two were kind of riding high in Ireland, and it was a time when everybody was waving white flags, and you know, Bono was a big how would you put it, representative of Ireland all around the globe. So yeah, that's when I started getting into music. It was all about big hair and big statements back then. And
is that why you wanted to do, make a big statement with big hair?
Yeah, I had me big hair moments, but came out of that.
Okay, and I suppose, how did you begin your collaboration with Wayne then?
Well, I set up the studio, Paul Woodward Studios, a few years ago, and a lot of talent has come in since I set up, and Wayne is an example of someone who's trying to take songwriting somewhere else rather than just following the tradition of the troubadour with the guitar. Wayne is trying to do something different with his songwriting, looking to an international market more than just Ireland. So that's where the country music comes into it. Yeah, Wayne and a lot of other people. A lot of too many to name. I won't name the people that come through the door because I might leave somebody out. But it's about Wayne tonight, and yeah, he's actually the record is sounding good. I have to say, the band on Wayne's album, I suppose it's the studio wrecking crew of Michael Kearns on guitar, Stephen Ford on drums, myself on bass, and we've played on the bulk of the tracks with Wayne playing the acoustic, and it's sounding good. And Mick on the guitar, some great guitar playing there. The guy is, you throw anything at him, he's able to play, no matter what style it is. Not only Wayne's stuff, but he's able to do Coldplay type contemporary stuff. And it has to be said, that guy really is part of the backbone to the studio musicians that are in my studio at the moment.
And I suppose something that a lot of people debate about is what the role of a producer actually is, because depending on the producer, a producer can be different things to different people. We all know the famous one, George Martin, known as the fifth Beatle, but a lot of producers, I suppose, would have a more subtle hand than George Martin. What would you see the role of a producer being?
Well, I suppose initially the role of producer is to give the artist a bit of perspective on his music that he doesn't have, so he can't step outside his song. So what I would do with an artist, and I've done this with Wayne and everybody, what I've done on the first day, say when they come into the studio, is I'll ask them just to play all the songs for me that they're considering to record. And what I find with a lot of songwriters is the latest songs they wrote, the ones they just wrote recently, are the ones they're favoured. They're the ones they think are the best songs, but not necessarily, because some of the songs they might have lying around for a year or two and might be a bit jaded in their mind, but a new song to some, like an old song that you've written to someone who hasn't heard it is a new song. So that's it really. I'll just give suggestions on what I think they should record, and we try and find a balance, what they really want to record and maybe other ideas that I think. So initially it's just to give I suppose a second ear to it, and hopefully I have a little bit of experience where the artists that come in the studio can take it on board, and then after that it's I suppose fleshing it out and actually helping the artist get the sound that he wants in his head onto CD or vinyl or whatever it is.
How do you find that process, Wayne, in terms of Paul's talking about helping the artist to get that sound out of his head? Do you find it a difficult process to have one thing in your head and then suddenly go into the studio and you've got to get it concrete, or what's that like for you?
No, I don't find that hard at all. Funny enough, that's the thing. For some reason, myself and Paul work well together that way. We can come from getting it out of my head onto, we have Mick there, and Mick's, you think you were, joined at the hip or whatever. He just seems to be able to play exactly what I want him to play. And Paul seems to know what we all just work together perfectly. It's like gel. It's who knows? I don't know. It's hard to explain. But I don't believe in luck, but we came together pretty tight. First people that didn't really know each other. Well, I didn't know the boys beforehand. So it was pretty amazing the way we kind of gelled so quick.
And what do you find, I suppose, the biggest challenge of the recording studio environment as opposed to performing your songs live?
Well, it can be time consuming, and you need a lot of patience. That's what it comes down to, really. I work fast. Paul, you always say that, Paul, don't you?
Wayne is getting a lot of productive days in the studio. He's coming in the morning at 11 o'clock and throwing new songs at the band, and we're coming out with the backing tracks of 2 songs a day. So I haven't seen anyone be that productive in the studio. So he's very focused and productive. You're talking leaving the studio at 6 o'clock with 2 songs in the can, more or less, just going back and doing vocals then. So
we've never actually done a song that we didn't use. Funny enough, every song we've done has made it to the EP or the album. There's none that we've said, listen, that hasn't worked.
Yeah, Wayne is almost like the Beatles, going in and doing it all in one day. He could do that if he wanted to, and it's testament to the ideas that Wayne has. That they're very crystal clear in his head, and he knows what he wants, and he's not afraid to tell us if it's not going where he wants it. Which helps us, and we're not sensitive about that. He can tell us it's crap.
Okay, well, we're running out of time, but I want to each ask you one quick question. Paul, to you first.
Yeah.
What would the one piece of advice you would give be to someone heading into the recording studio for the first time?
I'd say don't worry too much about what other people. Don't worry about an imagined audience in your head and what they're going to think that your music. Don't be trying to appease other people. Get the vision you have onto the CD or onto the recording, and and make sure you're 100% happy with it, because you know, who knows how far it'll go or how far it won't go. But if you're not happy with it, you know, what's the point? What's the point in doing it if you're not happy with it?
Would you agree with that, Wayne?
Yeah, my thing would be that in a couple of years' time, if you look back on the music you made, are you proud of it, or are you kind of embarrassed? So to play songs that you know that you want to play for yourself, and if other people like them, that's great.